Hello, crafters and artisans, and welcome back to Psychedelic Squid Fiber Arts. Today, I'm going to show you how to make simple leather wool carder covers. There are a few ways to store your carders. Sometimes people like to store them with the tines interlocking or stacked up on top of each other. However, I'm not a huge fan of any of these methods, so I'm going to make a single cover for each carder. To start, I'm going to use a cheap foam dish mat and cut this to protect the tines of the carder. I'm going to measure the length and width of the tines, so I got 8 inches by 4.5 inches, and I'm going to need to cut 2 of these. So now I'm going to measure and cut out my foam mat. Then, using this middle blue stitch on my sewing machine, I'm going to sew the cut edges of the foam material. You can also use a standard zigzag stitch if you want. And here's what it looks like after we're done. It's not perfect, but I don't need it to be. Now, to take the measurements for the leather cover, I'm going to use the foam here so that it can sit snugly in the cover. I'm going to measure the circumference around the head of the carder from the back of the handle to the start of the tines. I got 10 inches, but I'm going to add a 1/2 inch to give myself a little wiggle room. Then, again, measuring the width of 8 inches and adding 1/2 inch, so 8.5 inches wide. Now, I'm going to measure around the head again, but this time I'm going to measure from the back of the handle to where I want my strap to end, which is 15 inches plus a 1/2 inch, so 15.5 inches. So for our pattern, the 10.5 inches for around just the carder head, and 15.5 inches is around the carder head plus the strap overlap. I'm going to start by using the width of the carder head, so 8.5 inches, and then using my shorter length of 10.5 inches. And then extending it to our longest measurement of 15.5 inches. I made the straps 3 inches wide with a 2.5 inch gap for the handle, and these are completely arbitrary numbers, but I would recommend not going thinner than 1 inch for the straps or less than 2 inches on the gap for the handle. Now, I'm going to sketch this out full size and cut it out. I don't actually like how square these straps are, so using a compass, I'm going to create an arched point and cut it out. Then I'm going to do a test fit with just the paper to make sure everything looks good. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to cut 2 sheets of leather out using my pattern. This is 2 to 4 ounce leather, and next I'm going to trim the edges using a skeeving tool and then polish the edges with a burnishing tool. Here's that polished edge. Now, for placing the metal snaps, I'm going to fit it over the carder and mark where I want them to snap using my awl. I'm pulling the leather taut when I do this because the leather will stretch over time and I want to make sure it stays snug even after a bit of use. When placing the snaps, there are 4 different pieces: the decorative button piece and the exterior part of the snap junction. These go in the leather just like this, and then it's fastened using the flaring tool on the mini anvil, or in my case, this cutting board. After securing the top half on each side, I'm going to do the bottom half of the snaps. Again, you have the backing and the interior part of the snap junction that goes on the leather like this. And then again, using my flaring tool, I'm going to secure the snaps. Then, here we go. I'm going to check and make sure my snaps work, and then try it out on my wool carder. There you go, a super simple cover to protect both the tines and yourself. Here's the final set. I wanted to try some leather burning decoration on these, but I ran out of time, so maybe next time. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below, and feel free to visit my Facebook page or Instagram to ask clarifying questions or about things I haven't covered yet. Thank you all so much for exploring the depths of your creativity, and I'll see you next time.